Welcome back to NBA Cinema. So this Jimmy Butler saga has been crazy, and it's getting crazier and crazier as the Miami Heat are considering upgrading Jimmy's fine uh, from conduct detrimental to the team all the way up to refusing to provide services for the team, which that would constitute double the money he's already lost. And I think Jimmy in these 7 games has lost north of 2.5, $2.8 million, somewhere in that ballpark. So he would lose roughly over $5 million if this fine was upgraded. And so this is everything from Jimmy's camp. This dating all the way back to when Riley called him out about saying he needed to be quiet if he's not playing in the postseason. This is just a timeline of events. It says Jimmy wanted face to face with Riley after called out at his house. Riley never spoke to him after that. Jimmy reportedly missed flights only for his father's sickness in the finals versus Denver. Jimmy felt the Heat were leaking the trade rumors originally, which upset him. Jimmy was upset when he showed up in a new offense, more threes and pace, and more zone defense was being worked on in training camp that didn't fit his play style when trying to earn his money. Jimmy, one time last year, didn't receive his paycheck due to accounting reasons, which took nearly 10 days to fix. And that's never happened in the history of the Miami Heat's organization. So it seemed very deliberate. Jimmy was upset his first day back from sickness. He had to speak to the media because it was amid all these trade rumors. Okay, so that's when Jimmy's agent, after the Pelicans game, Jimmy got called out for his effort and all that, and he showed like some analytics that backed up that no, Jimmy ain't out there coasting. There's been new things implemented, and it's kind of throwing his play style off. And Haynes said, this from Chris Haynes. He said that at this point, it's not about money with the Heat; it's a relationship issue. And Jimmy is expected to return to the Miami Heat if no trade offer is done by the time of his suspension. Now, one thing that the Heat did, I kind of want to go over some of this. They did send something to the league office where they said that this is the reason that they suspended Jimmy in the first place. The first reason they said alleged lack of effort was cited as cause for suspension. Um, it says Butler sets himself apart from teammates, and Mickey Arison wants him with the team while he's collecting that salary. Now, Jimmy Butler has said that they are implementing a new offense, and so if they're saying lack of effort, is Jimmy like blowing plays that you can go back and tell that he's absolutely blowing? Because Jimmy has had low scoring games when they was winning. So it can't just be about his offense. And if they're implementing a new offense and some of the younger players are starting to spread their wings, how do you prove that unless he just isn't doing anything? I mean, Jimmy has always said other players may have had better offensive talent than him and all that on his team. So I think Jimmy does what it takes to win, but I understand them wanting him to be with the team. Now, Jimmy said he don't set himself apart. They would what they cited in that part of what they submitted to the league office. They said that he's taking private flights to and fro road games. Now we know LeBron James and other players do that, so that's not um, against the norm. But I remember seeing Jimmy on flights with his teammates. He should submit that evidence to rebut and back his claims up. And also, I do remember that time we was flying separate. I think they were playing Denver. Might have been in the finals if I ain't mistaken, but he was going back and forth to see his father. You know what I'm saying? So um you can't if there's like a family emergency, you can't really get mad at nobody for that. Now, as far as the payment thing, that seems very deliberate. An organization like the Miami Heat don't make those type of mistakes. And even if you make those mistakes, you make them before payday. You know that Jimmy is supposed to get his money, and so if he just don't get a check, and everybody else in the organization got a check, that's trippy. And I think Pat Riley, when's the last time free agent chose to come to Miami on his own? Exactly. So this type of treatment is bigger than what's going on with Jimmy. Is anybody else gonna come after you've done this? You know? So man, yeah, let's get into what Udonis had to say about this. Let's peep.
This, guys, I'm sorry, I will say this, guys. There's one thing that we do say. You either in or you out. There's no in between. And that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. You either in or you out. There's no in between. Right, and right now they're tied right there with Milwaukee, I think in the 6th or 7th spot. So they have a chance if they can go on a winning streak to put themselves in a good situation. And you never know what happens in the playoffs. You got guys that have been to the finals. Bam has been to the finals.
Yeah.
Tyler has been to the finals. You're developing young players. And we got La Sposa Nostra, baby. So there is an opportunity down there for those guys if they can stay healthy.
Absolutely.
So let's take a closer look at what they are talking about doing with Jimmy Butler's suspension, man. Now, not only are they fining Jimmy, but they're sabotaging his value at an older age where he's injured, and they're really kind of shutting the market down for him. It looks like to me, as refusing to provide services, that's going to bring a whole different connotation with him. I think Jimmy was out there playing, and what they were trying to say at first was conduct detrimental to the team. Refusal to provide services, man, that would have been what Ben Simmons should have got when he was in Philly. I don't think you can do this with Jimmy Butler, because Anthony Davis would have needed that same, that same thing to him when he was with the New Orleans Pelicans. To be honest with you, I don't think what Jimmy is doing is refusing to provide services. I think he may not even be the same player he was at one point, and he is really injured that much. I mean, it's clear that he has to get that knee drained and all that. This isn't going to end well. I think the Phoenix Suns is the one team that would extend Jimmy, right? And they're not going to do that because of how this thing has played out. So again, his market is as thin as it can be already. Miami isn't going to extend him. So they're going to make him, I feel like they're going to try to they're going to call his bluff on leaving that 52 million on the table, and they're going to essentially let him lose his market. So yeah, you're not getting another 3-4 year deal from somebody. You're not going to get that Paul George extension he got where he's not worth the money anymore. But he's able to get another good payday. Nope, we're not going to allow that. Even though Jimmy Butler's resume backs up him being more deserving than Paul George of that. You know, so when you look at Heat culture, the way this thing is ending, it'll be interesting to see if they bring Jimmy back to do anything with the organization later, because you went to two finals with Jimmy. I think you should probably show him a little more love than you showing him, to be honest with you. That's just my take, but yeah, he can't get a maximum deal. This thing should be worked out a little more amicably than this, in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.